Billionaire Robert F. Smith, as the graduation speaker at his alma mater this past weekend, announced that he is creating a grant to eliminate Morehouse College's class of 2019 student loans. Wow. Is it wrong that my first reaction was to be jelly?
He's motherfucking peanut butter and jealous.
He's not jealous.
He's putting KY jealous all over his dick.
What is there to be jealous of?
Fuckers hate us because they ain't us.
My next reaction was to wonder why my commencement speaker, President Obama himself, didn't do the same thing.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
And then my third reaction was wondering how any commencement speaker ever tops that, let alone next year's Morehouse College commencement speaker. Yeesh. Welcome back to another edition of Prem Brulee, the number one podcast in your headphones. That's right, don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever play yourselves. I'm your host, Premal Bot of the Play Call Network, and let's get started with Yeah Fam or Nah. First up, Yeah Fam or Nah to the NBA Draft Lottery. So this was the first year with the new odds that were supposed to address teams tanking. After the NBA Draft Lottery, the order is as follows. The New Orleans Pelicans will pick at number 1, followed by the Memphis Grizzlies. The New York Knicks come in at 3. The Los Angeles Lakers at 4. The Cleveland Cavaliers at 5. The Phoenix Suns at 6. And the Chicago Bulls at 7. The Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Lakers all jumped into the top 4 despite having non-top 4 odds. I am a Yeah Fam to this. I love this shakeup. I love that the NBA has some kind of drama, just picking a draft order of all things. But it's easy to be a Yeah Fam or Nah about a draft lottery. I'm sure Knick fans vehemently disagree, but a bonus Yeah Fam or Nah. David Griffin and adding Zion Williamson will help convince Anthony Davis to stay in New Orleans. Yeah Fam or Nah. I'm a nah to this one, not just because Anthony Davis has reportedly said that's not enough to keep him. I just think when a relationship's over, it's over. I'm happy for the Pelicans that they get to jumpstart their rebuild with number 1 pick Zion Williamson. But no, I do not think I'm a nah to Anthony Davis staying in New Orleans. I think they're sure as hell going to try. David Griffin's going to try to convince him. And he's done some miracle jobs keeping Kyrie in Cleveland as long as he did, but this one's a little different, and I do see the brow leaving, whether he gets traded or in free agency. The next Yeah Fam or Nah is an NBA Conference Finals update. Of course, out west, the number 1 seed, Snakes of Oakland, the Golden Snake Warriors, faced the number 3 seed, Portland Trail Blazers, and did even greater than anyone would imagine. Swept them. Fucking swept them. All that
Laser
talk and nothing. The Warriors cruised past the Blazers in Game 1. Blazers looked like they were still hungover from their Game 7 victory over the Nuggets. Then, Portland blew big leads in Games 2 and 3. Knew it was doomed, especially after that Game 2 loss, where they had the game in the bag. Game 4 was the toughest of them. It took overtime for the Snakes of Oakland to beat them. The Snakes' backcourt, behind Curry and Thompson, totally dominated the backcourt and star players of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. With that, the Yeah Fam or Nah is the Warriors are better off without King Snake Kevin Durant. So in the playoffs, the Warriors are 5-3 with Kevin Durant putting up gaudy numbers. And with the sweep of Portland, are 5-0 since Durant has been injured with the strained calf and been forced to sit out. Listen, Kevin Durant is one of the best players in the league. It'd be ridiculous to think that a team would be better off without. You know what? Fucking Yeah Fam, they are better off without him.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
Get that King Snake out of Oakland. Let him keep being sensitive at every comment suggesting such. Let him be so hurt that he leaves his fucking 0 rings in Oakland and joins a real team that didn't beat him and didn't have 73 wins.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
Y'all seem to forget the fucking Snakes in Oakland were doing just fine. They had 73 wins, blew a 3-1 lead, and then added the snake they beat in the Western Conference Finals. The whole reason they got the snake, Kevin Durant, is to deal with LeBron James. It's time for him to go. Let's get some fucking balance back in this league, instead of putting all our hopes on the fucking Houston Rockets. It's lit! Yeah, fam, they're better off without King Snake. Keep him on the bench.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
They can't get a ring anyway. What's 0 more rings to his total of 0? Fuck out of here. Anyway, out in the East, it's actually a series, as a conference final should be. Each team has held home court. The Raptors claimed Game 3 in 2 overtimes after forcing the Greek Freak to just 12 points. Did get 23 rebounds, one of the weirder stat lines I've seen in a while. And are definitely riding Kawhi Leonard, as we all expected, to try to compete in this series. No yeah, fam, or not at that one. Just please let that series go any sort of distance. Alright, changing up the pace a little bit. We're going to move on to golf. Yeah, fam, or nah to Brooks Koepka being able to reach Tiger Woods in terms of major championships. The 29-year-old Koepka won back-to-back PGA championships. The only other person to do that was Tiger Woods. His 2 PGA championships pair with his back-to-back U.S. Open victories in 2017 and 2018. And this past weekend was a wire-to-wire win at the PGA Championship. I'm a nod of this. I think Koepka has been incredible, but that number of Tigers, there's a reason it hasn't been reached yet. I can't just give someone the benefit of the doubt like that. Koepka is 29. He's still got a good 10 or so years if he can stay healthy. He is a workout warrior, one of those physical golfers, which weirdly enough tend to get more nagging injuries than the people like Phil Mickelson who are doughy. But I'm a nod of this one. I got to stick with Tiger staying firmly in second place. I don't see anyone getting to that level. It's such sustained, continued, clutch performance that it's hard to see. Now, Koepka seems like he turns it on for majors, so it seems like he's the next new wave of person that we want to ask about. It's Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, all these people. Koepka does have a claim. He's got 4 of them already, so we'll have to stay tuned, but I'm a nah for that. Let's not be prisoners of the moment here. And last but not least, yeah, fam or not, Magic Johnson stepping down as Lakers president now that he had his interview and tell-all on ESPN's First Take. So in case you missed it, Magic cited Rob Pelinka as backstabbing, saying he spoke about his lack of presence in the building, in the Lakers facility, behind his back. Magic Johnson did say when he took the job, and he made it very clear to Jeannie Buss he has other businesses to run, so he may not physically be there all the time. In addition to that, Magic Johnson indicated that Jeannie Buss had given him the final say when he took the job. That was a stipulation. But that there are too many people in the room for final decisions to be made, namely in the decision to fire Luke Walton or the debate to fire Luke Walton at the time, former Lakers head coach. Magic said he's, quote, not a regretful person, end quote, over the way he handled the situation, especially regarding not telling LeBron. So this one's kind of tricky. Do we tend to believe the NBA legend? He didn't need this job. He took it under stipulations. I'm actually yeah fam to his move. He stated that when it was no longer fun, he was going to step down. Very good business sense to say, in making final decisions, there were too many opinions that Jeannie Buss brought into the room. It just seems like the Lakers are total dysfunction, and they have no idea how to be run ever since Dr. Buss passed away. I'm a yeah fam. I'm inclined to believe Magic Johnson here. He honestly has no reason to lie. Now, if I were him, if there was one regret I'd have is not being forthright to LeBron. I think if he wasn't so keen on saying he wasn't regretful, I believe his one regret would be not letting his players know. Also worth noting, in this interview, he was very candid, told the people at First Take what happened with the Anthony Davis trade debacle. He had suggested to then Pelicans GM Dale Demps to keep the terms of their trade offers a secret. Dale Demps did not do that. That's why there were so many leaked trade scenarios and offers. So I'm inclined to believe the man who's no reason to lie. And Magic Johnson doesn't need that interview, doesn't need to prove anything with anyone. He had quite the sound clips after he stepped down. It was a weird way to do it, but I'm a yeah fan. I do think it was the right move, especially for him. I'm sure Lakers fans are not, because they just found out their franchise is a mess, as if they did not know it already. Lagod, are you sure you want to stay in LA? Come back to Cleveland. Come on home, baby.
It's lit!
It's okay to regret it. Now it's time for likey, no likey, hate it. The good, the bad, and the ugly from this week. This week my likey goes to John Wick Chapter 3. It was absolutely incredible. I really feel sorry for you folks who have not watched it. Do not play yourselves and let that continue, because there are two types of people in this world. People who love John Wick, and people who haven't seen the movies yet. And a big let's fucking go to John Wick 4 being announced for May 2021. I can't wait. My no likey goes to Game of Thrones officially being over. Sad times, fam. Whatever you did or didn't like about this last season or the series finale, it's been an incredible ride this last decade, 73 episodes. I am going to miss it. Can't wait for all the spinoffs, and yes, I will dearly defend them all. My hate it for this week is back to sports. My hate it goes to this pitch count era of Major League Baseball. So recently, Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale had 17 strikeouts through 7 innings and got fucking pulled. I hate this stupid ass era. So Sale was under 110 pitches at the time and asked his manager Alex Cora to go for 20 strikeouts. A huge milestone. Not everybody gets to do it. And he was in a reasonable pitch count era. You fucking played yourself, baseball. Why go for all these great things that people want to see, like no-hitters and 20K games? Yeah, the fans would hate to see that. They sure would. Let's preserve these pitchers' arms and an extra bag of ice, because we could really use it. Then they wonder why other things dominate headlines. You do bullshit like this. It'd be like a fucking NBA player going to top a milestone, having an opportunity to have 50 points, but stopping at 49. They haven't played that many minutes. They're just stopping at 49 points. Oh yeah, we're about to break Kobe Bryant's 81 points. We're at 80, but our guy's getting tired. Let's just sit him down. Fans don't want to see that, do they? No. God forbid baseball fans get to see that. God forbid the occasional fans that we're trying to garner interest from get to see that. But no. My guy's at over 100 pitches, so let's pull him. This grown man earning millions of dollars. Let's pull him, even though he wants to stay in the game. Make total sense. You fucking played yourself, MLB. On that note, let's move on to my favorite section. You played yourself. And you know how we do. We need that man, the Joker, to kick us off.
Here we go.
First up on You Played Yourself, it's a guy I didn't think I needed to talk about. We already focused in on a lot of his issues in the NFL offseason. We thought we were past it, but You Played Yourself goes to Ben Roethlisberger, a.k.a. Pittsburgh's daddy. So Big Ben says he went too far in using his weekly radio show to criticize former Steelers teammate Antonio Brown during the 2018 season. Quote, I took some heat, and deservedly so, for some of the comments on that show, and especially towards him. I genuinely feel bad about that, and I'm sorry. Did I go too far after that Denver game? Probably. Roethlisberger had called out Antonio Brown's route running after a Week 12 loss in Denver. At the time, he said Brown should have run a flatter route on a late-game interception, and that he wished he had thrown the ball to Juju Smith-Schuster at the goal line instead. Do you think you probably took it too far, Ben? Probably? I know AB already responded by calling him Two-Face, But at this point, it's not even hard to see. It's no mystery. This dude is out here calling out the best wide receiver in the game repeatedly. Now, when it's time to save face, he says a half-assed sorry. Do you see, as much as Aaron Rodgers does complaining, do you see Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady calling out these scrub wide receivers their team's field? And this dude, the Steelers' dad, Ben Roethlisberger's calling out Antonio Brown to the point the man demands a trade? Give me a fucking break here. Who is this guy fooling? Next You Played Yourself goes to the teams that tanked. You guys fucking played yourselves. The NBA Draft Lottery worked exactly in Adam Silver and the NBA's favor. In the first year of these new odds, only one single team with top 4 odds actually made the top 4. And even them, the Knicks, played themselves. They got their hopes up on Zion. And now they'll end up with Ja Morant or RJ Barrett. While this is only 1 year, it doesn't change the fact that 3 out of 4 teams to make it to the top 4 picks did not have the odds to do so. Basically means don't fucking suck. Nice and simple. And I love this so much. Imagine sucking so bad and then convincing yourself that your 14% odds of getting number 1 mattered. You know what 14% means? That there was an 86% chance you didn't get number 1, and now there is a 100% chance you didn't. You played yourselves. You Played Yourself goes to Brooks Koepka's girlfriend, Jenna Sims. So Jenna went in for a kiss 2 times before Koepka's final round in front of the cameras. Quote, "Nah, fam, only thing I'm kissing today is a trophy." End quote. That's Koepka, probably. And this one might be my favorite of the week. I'm not sure. It's between this one and the last one of the week. The New York Jets. You played yourselves. So the Jets made headlines because they fired their GM, Mike McCagnon. No big deal, right? It happens all the time in this business. I mean, this guy did, in fact, interview the Baylor head coach, Matt Rule, but then told him he couldn't pick his own assistant coaches. So, we don't necessarily feel bad for the guy. He still can get millions of dollars. Yeah, whatever. Happens in this business. But they fired him now, after letting him have an entire offseason where they spent $40 million per year signing Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley, and Jamison Crowder. And then on top of that, had the number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft. So instead of firing him before all those moves were made, they let the guy that was shown the door make those choices. Oh, and then get this. Their acting GM is head coach Adam Gase, who was so good at his last job that he got fired last season in Miami. And then, to take this even a step further into this dysfunction, Adam Gase will be part of the search in hiring their new GM. What fucking GM wants to know going in that their head coach has more power than them? Like, there won't even be a mystery about it. To make things worse, Gase and McCagnon reportedly disagreed on the signing of Le'Veon Bell. So future GM, how do you feel about this job of yours? No, don't worry. You're going to have more power than our head coach, Adam Gase. Even though he was part of the people that chose you. But no, it's fine. It's fine. Never mind that Le'Veon Bell now knows to not feel great about being signed by his current team, and the guy they left behind is the one who didn't want him. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the fact that Gase publicly said everything was all good, and then between him and McCagnon, but then McCagnon was fired. Don't worry about that. It's all good. It won't happen to you. No, future GM, this is your job. We definitely won't pick the head coach over you. Don't even worry about it. These billionaire owners in the NFL, like Jets owner Christopher Johnson, has to be smarter than this, right? This makes no football sense. This mistake's been made plenty of times before, but no, this time it's going to work doing it this way. Unbelievable. You played yourself. Big pile of shit dumpster fire in New York there. Oh no, they put their trash on the streets. Doesn't matter. A street trash pile. A street trash shit pile. P-O-O-P. Poop, poop, poop.
Poop again! He called the shit poop!
Last but not least, You Played Yourself goes to Draymond the Woat Green. All of a sudden, this dude is trying to get us to like him. You will not fool me. We know you're going to be a free agent, and you got coached up to look more favorable. You will not fool me. Draymond, the Woat Green. Exhibit A. The Woat was mic'd up when he started receiving love over encouraging his teammate Jordan Bell after Bell missed a wide-open dunk. Everybody was coming to the Woat's defense, saying how great of a teammate he is and, you know, how we shouldn't hate him for being a bad teammate. How about we hate him because he talks shit scoring 8 points and kicks opponents in the dicks? Nobody who irrationally hates a sports player cares what kind of encouraging he does to his teammates. Draymond's still the Woat. Fuck your Exhibit A. Exhibit B. In one of his post-game press conferences earlier this playoffs, he said, quote, I realized I got to a point where I was doing more crying than playing, end quote. It's all good when you're sweeping subpar opponents and got other teammates bailing you out. Fuck your Exhibit B. Exhibit C. Another Woat quote. Quote, my son was shooting and flopping. I said, you gotta stop watching the NBA. End quote. How about you gotta stop ruining the NBA, recruiting players when you fucking lose, Draymond? Fuck your Exhibit C.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
On to who you got and what you feeling. Last episode, I made my picks for who makes the NBA Finals. Obviously, it's not fully complete yet, but I did pick the Warriors over the Blazers in 6 games. I was wrong about that. It only took them 4. And as a recap, I picked the Raptors over the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. Jury's still out on that one. This week, wanted to do a little NBA draft lottery theme as NBA draft season will be quickly approaching. And 'tis the season to be doing scouting. We all know at number 1, the Pelicans are going to take Zion Williamson. But at number 2, the Memphis Grizzlies have a decision to make. Ja Morant or RJ Barrett? Who do I have for the Grizzlies taking? I think it's going to be Ja Morant, but for who you got on who they should take, I believe the Grizzlies should draft RJ Barrett at number 2. Listen, I know everything everyone's saying. Ja Morant would be the heir apparent to Mike Conley. It gives you the freedom to trade Mike Conley. That's great and all, but how about just adding someone who can contribute right away instead of someone that you could coach up like he's a rookie quarterback? Go get RJ Barrett, complete a lineup, and compete in the West, especially in a Western Conference that, well, holy basketball gods, please be wide open next year when the King Snake leaves the Snake Pit Golden Snake Warriors next year.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
I'm firmly on Team RJ Barrett at number 2. I do think Ja Morant will end up being the pick, and all reports are pointing to that. But more intriguing will be how the rest of the draft goes, starting with the LA Lakers at number 4. Will they trade that pick? Will they end up selecting someone? Then who do the Cavs add to their roster if they can jumpstart things going forward? More to come as we approach the NBA draft, but we'll tease that out going forward. As for what I'm feeling, this week, the DJ Khaled album, Father of Assad, especially that track, Higher, with Nipsey Hussle. Lot of feels with that one. R.I.P. to Nipsey. Getting to see a music video, a touching tribute to him. And the best part is DJ Khaled, John Legend, who's featured on the track, are donating the proceeds from that track to Nipsey Hussle's kids. Love that move. Beyond that, I got to spend time with my bro, sister-in-law, and got to watch Game of Thrones in a theater. What a weekend. Then you know how we like to wrap up each episode. My too much sense for the week. And this week is about sentimentality. Sentimentality can be a dangerous thing. If you're someone who's sentimental, This is your reminder to not take things too personally. If you're not a sentimental one, be wary of people who are. Little efforts can go a long way. Indulge those people from time to time. It's quite the balance. If you're not sentimental, you don't understand people who take things too personally. If you are sentimental, you take everything personally. There's a balance somewhere in there, and find it. And that's going to do it for another edition of Prem Brulee, the number one podcast in your headphones. That's right. Do not ever get it twisted. Do not ever play yourselves. I've been your host, Premal of the Play Call Network. As always, you know the deal. Subscribe, review, pass on this podcast to someone you know, and tell them to tell someone they know. And check out all of our other incredible podcasts at the Play Call Network. We greatly appreciate you, and we'll talk to you next episode.